Well, here's another video that we have to make, unfortunately, a good old NCUTI GATWA from Doctor Who. Now, if you guys remember, on my last video that I did on NCUTI GATWA, my comment section got turned off completely without me even doing anything. And then I tried to manually turn them back on, and it didn't go back on. It makes it very sus. The last time this happened was when I talked about the actress over in Rings of Power, Sophia Vet. So it goes to show there's a bit of a connection here. But ultimately, if the comment section is turned off in this video, I apologize. Just leave a comment on some of my other videos and help boost this video by liking it and sharing it. So we have an article here from Bounding Into Comics with a headline that reads, Doctor Who lead NCUTI GATWA responds to critics of his casting and says to go and touch grass, please, for God's sakes.
Who?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good old NCUTI GATWA says that you yourself need to go touch grass. You, the person who's living in reality, you, the person who's not trying to pretend as if he's somehow half female, half male, you, the one who knows what reality is versus an actor who doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at half the time, you're the one who needs to go touch grass. And he apparently knows what God is now. Very interesting. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Looks like he's practicing what he's been doing a lot in for the BBC, you know what I'm saying? Current Doctor Who lead NCUTI GATWA has pushed back against those critics who rejected his casting as the latest incarnation of the series' titular protagonist by imploring them to go and touch grass. Now, for what I understand, again, I've made this very clear. I'm not a Doctor Who fan, never have been a Doctor Who fan, but from the Doctor Who fans that I've spoken to, and I unfortunately have spoken to a lot of them, they have all had the same complaint, which is essentially what happened in the last few episodes and the tearing down of Doctor Who, all for identity politics. Now, people were saying, oh, Doctor Who has always been woke, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. All I'm doing is looking at the modern day version of it. And when you have an alien species trying to talk about human pronouns, when you're trying to talk about human gender identity or something along those lines, that's when it gets a little bit ridiculous. When you start shoving trans identities into a show that's about an alien, essentially. It's very weird. It says GATWA offered the response while speaking to Variety's Eli Schaffer in promotion of the upcoming premiere Doctor Who's next season, pressed by Schaffer as to whether he had anything to say to those individuals who took with his casting. It should be noted that while some did object to his appearance in the role on racial and sexual identity grounds, an overwhelming majority of the criticism was based on the fear that GATWA's existence as the first non-white Doctor would lead to the series curving away from sci-fi adventures in favor or hardcore socio-political preaching. The 15th Doctor actor declared, don't watch, turn off the TV, go and touch grass, please, for God's sakes. Now, again, that is the final words of a series. You know what I'm saying? How many times in my over 2 years of doing this on YouTube that we have seen actors and actresses come out, attack the fans, and say something along the lines of, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And then what ends up happening? The show gets no viewership. The show ends up tanking. Seasons get canceled. People get fired. And then they're going to come out and say, well, cis white people are to blame. Cis white men are to blame because they didn't watch my show. You told people don't watch it. You flat out said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. In this scenario, you're telling him to go touch grass. Okay, we just won't watch it then. That's perfectly fine. You know how easy it is these days for people to, when they're told, if you don't like it, don't watch it, to not actually watch it. There's so much content out there to consume online in streaming. You don't need Doctor Who. Let's be real. You don't need to watch Doctor Who. If you want to watch Doctor Who, watch it because you actually want to. But when you're told by the actor, yeah, don't watch it if you don't like me, that's ridiculous. And at that point, you should probably start voting with your view. It says, however, while GATWA's criticism was aimed at his general naysayers, current Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies, who, by the way, Russell T Davies and NCUTI GATWA are two of the same, two peas in the same pot. These are people who are obsessed with identity politics. Like, it literally runs their lives, okay? Identity politics is the forefront of everything that they do. Had specific thoughts for those who found themselves unhappy with the fact that a queer actor would be playing the lead in a show watched by children, which, again, people have every right to have an issue with that. Considering the stuff that you're pushing in Doctor Who now, I mean, like I said, you literally have an alien species who Doctor Who was trying to talk to, and then the tranny in the show wants to come out and say, well, did you ask the alien his pronouns? What the fuck? Why am I... Talk about getting taken out of a TV show, right? Like, talk about getting taken out of the experience when you want to bring up some bullshit like that in a show where it just simply doesn't belong. Not only that, let's say it did belong in the show. That was not the moment to do it. It was not the moment to talk about that when he's trying to talk to a little alien creature. Like, it's just not. It says, appearing alongside Gatwa, the showrunner opined to Schaefer, I think if you're 6 years old, you don't care, not at all. Well, that's because you're easily indoctrinated, which, of course, I mean, that's who you're going for. But nonetheless, as the world darkens, and I do think that the world is darkening around queer rights, there is a joy and celebration, and there's a community. Whether you're 12 years old and just beginning to work out who you are, 62 years old and you've never been who you are, or 61 years old like I am and beginning to worry about where we are in society, there is a hero out there cutting his way through the universe, looking damn good in his suits and doing it with a laugh and a smile, Davies concluded. So listen, Davies, we get it. We get it, okay? You suck off Ncuti Gatwa nonstop. We get it. You get railed by him all night. I understand. It's fine. If you're into that, it's all good. But that doesn't mean you got to push this shit on kids. Like, that's the problem that people have. And that's where really people draw the line. You're talking about 12-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and how they don't care, whatever. It's because they're fucking innocent. And you're trying to ruin that innocence by talking about sexual ideology when it comes to homosexual stuff. Like, it's just so stupid. Like, you shouldn't even be talking about regular sex to a 6-year-old, let alone fucking gay sex. That just doesn't make any sense. The fact that you guys want to even do this is fucking weird. And that's why people do not trust you. That's why people have a problem with you. And that's why people constantly go after you. So if you think the world is getting dark around you, well, good. I'm glad. You should feel that way because people are, in fact, waking up to your bullshit. It says, notably, according to Gatwa, the significant change in the Doctor's identity facilitated by his casting will play a significant role in the upcoming season. Asked by UK news outlet Radio Times in December 2023 as to whether or not the series would eventually and explicitly comment on the Doctor's race swapping of between his past and current incarnations, Gatwa confirmed, yes, definitely, it would be stupid if we didn't. The Doctor has always walked into unknown situations and taken charge with authority. Explained to Netflix's sex education actor, historically, there's only really been one demographic of people that are able to do that, and it's certainly not a woman, and it's certainly not someone black. Oh, I remember this. I remember when he said this. So yeah, apparently the only people who are able to get into a situation and take charge with authority is white men. That's the only people who've been able to do that, according to people like Ncuti Gatwa, according to everybody who works on a show like this. Yeah, it's only white men that are able to do that. Screw all the people of color or non-white people who have been in leadership positions in the past. You guys don't exist. You're not real. The only leaders that's ever existed are white people, according to people like Ncuti Gatwa. It's such a stupid victim mindset. I swear to God, like, there's no way that I could possibly go through my life and be this weak. I just don't understand it. I guess when you're getting paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars to be an actor for Doctor Who, or millions, I don't really know how much he gets paid. Ultimately, if you get paid that much money, I guess you can be stupid a little bit easier, or a victim a little bit easier. But I just can't see myself doing that long term. I mean, my goodness, the victimhood mentality when it comes to people like this who are crabs in a bucket. They have to constantly bring everybody else down into their victim bucket. It's ridiculous and it's sad. And it goes to show that so long as these people continue to have this mindset, you're not really going to grow much past that. You, your family, people who are attached to you, it spreads like a disease, and you're not going to be able to grow past it very much. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.